Welcome back to the Midnight Narrator, where the comfort of familiar objects can conceal dark secrets, and the trust we place in those closest to us can be shattered in an instant. Tonight, we explore a chilling tale of a hidden container, a collection of lost possessions, and a partner whose obsession transforms into something truly terrifying. Prepare to confront a reality where the lines between love and possession blur, and the most intimate relationships can harbor the darkest intentions. Join me as we unravel the haunting story of the brown container. Turn down the lights, listen closely, and pray that the secrets hidden in your own home remain undisturbed. It began with the knit garment. A simple dark blue sweater I had assumed was misplaced months prior. It lay neatly folded on the highest shelf within my partner's wardrobe, catching my eye only because I was searching for a warm covering while he was showering. The wool felt soft and slightly cool to the touch as I reached for it, a familiar comfort in its texture. Retrieving it, I questioned aloud. "Hey, Alex?" I called, holding it up as he re-entered the room, drying his wet hair with a rough towel, the scent of his usual soap filling the air. "Isn't this my sweater?" I thought it was lost. Alex paused, a barely perceptible hesitation, the towel stilling in his hands, then shrugged casually. "Oh, that. Yeah, you left it here quite some time ago. It slipped my mind to mention it." It was a plausible explanation, yet something in his delivery felt amiss. It wasn't typical of Alex to be secretive. We had been involved for 2 years, and while we experienced the usual relationship fluctuations, my trust in him was solid. But this resonated with a different undertone, a coolness in his tone that contrasted sharply with the warmth of the bathroom air clinging to him. Over subsequent days, a persistent unease lingered, a low hum of anxiety beneath the surface of my daily routine. Secrecy was uncharacteristic of Alex. Our relationship spanning 2 years was built on trust, despite inevitable minor conflicts. Yet this instance felt distinct, triggering a subtle alarm that resonated in the quiet moments of the day. A few days later, curiosity overtook my reservations. I waited until Alex departed on errands, the sound of his car fading down the street, then returned to his room. The room itself felt different without him, colder somehow despite the afternoon sun streaming through the window. The sweater remained on the shelf, but as I glanced across the other items, an anomaly registered. A plain brown container tucked away in the corner, partially obscured by a collection of older footwear. Dust motes danced in the air, disturbed as I moved closer. My given name was written on the container's top surface in neat, precise lettering. Heart racing, a frantic pulse throbbing in my ears, I pulled the container out and opened the lid. Inside was an assemblage of objects, items undeniably belonging to me. A hairbrush I hadn't seen in over a year, some strands of my hair still caught in the bristles. A childhood photograph from secondary school, faded and slightly bent, misplaced during a past residential move. A pendant gifted by my closest friend for a past birthday, cool and smooth to the touch, which I believed lost somewhere within the city. Each object was meticulously placed, arranged with a deliberate care that felt all the more unsettling. A wave of nausea washed over me, the air in the room suddenly feeling thick and suffocating. These were not items casually left behind. They were possessions I hadn't encountered in years, presumed permanently gone. Their rediscovery here feeling less like a lucky find and more like a violation. Then, beneath a layer of tissue paper, I unearthed the notebook. A basic spiral-bound journal, the kind I used for casual sketching and quick lists. The paper was thin and slightly rough under my fingertips. As I turned through the pages, my throat tightened, each page flip making a soft, whisper-like sound in the quiet room. The script was not my own. It was Alex's. Page after page detailed observations about me. Preferences, dislikes, frequented locations, social interactions. His handwriting was precise and controlled, almost clinical in its detachment. The concluding pages were the most disturbing. They shifted focus away from me individually, now centering on us. Events I hadn't even communicated to him. Disagreements that had never transpired. Future aspirations I'd never endorsed. And finally, scrawled in a rushed, erratic hand, the pen strokes digging into the paper. A solitary phrase repeated endlessly, almost like a mantra. Eventually she'll understand. Eventually she'll understand. Eventually she'll understand. I was oblivious to Alex's return, lost in the chilling repetition of that phrase. When I finally looked up, a shadow fell across the page, and he was present in the doorway, his silhouette framed against the brighter light of the hallway. His gaze fixed on me with an expression completely unfamiliar, something cold, possessive, and utterly unwavering. "I told you to stay out of my wardrobe," he stated, his tone disturbingly level, devoid of anger, replaced by a chillingly calm certainty. I attempted to speak, to offer an explanation, but words failed me, catching in my throat like dry leaves. Alex advanced, deliberately closing the door behind him with a soft click that echoed like a final seal. The air in the room seemed to thicken, the scent of his soap now sharp and oppressive. "It's all right," he murmured softly, his voice taking on a soothing, almost hypnotic quality. "It's all right now. Now, we can finally discuss what comes next." His eyes held a strange, fervent light, a disturbing conviction that settled like ice in my veins. He believes this is right, I realized with a sickening lurch. He truly believes this, and there we conclude our unsettling journey into the brown container, a story that delves into the chilling consequences of unchecked obsession and the terrifying reality that those we trust most can harbor the darkest desires. What happens when the person we love becomes a stranger, their affection twisted into something possessive and dangerous? How do we escape the grasp of a mind that seeks to control not just our actions, but our very understanding of reality? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If this tale has left you with a lingering sense of unease, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to join us on future journeys into the darkness. This is the Midnight Narrator signing off. Until next time, remember, sometimes the most terrifying containers are not the ones that hold our fears, but the ones that reveal the hidden truths of those we thought we knew.